Hi, everyone.
Hi.
We are still here in Florida on vacation, and it's been really nice. We've been able to spend some time together just as boyfriend, girlfriend, and not so much in, I don't really love the word caregiver, but in caregiver survivor roles,
No.
right?
Yeah, it's weird.
A misconception that exists in the community that typically rallies around someone who gets a TBI is that the person will recover back to who they previously were. It really can depend on the severity of the injury. I mean, we have people who have mild brain injuries, moderate or severe, but in many cases, even with mild brain injury, people can have personality changes that really do oftentimes make the caregiver or family or friends of the survivor feel like they are living with a stranger. It can be very hard for the survivor because lots of times they feel a loss of identity or a loss of self, or they have family members who tell them they're different, but they don't see the differences. Patrick is different.
In a good way.
In many good ways. And it is an interesting experience because in the case of most particularly a romantic relationship, you find that you have to fall in love with a new version of the person. I usually don't say what a lot of people say, which is that the person you loved is gone after a traumatic brain injury and you have to learn to love the new person. I think that the brain injury exposes or reveals a different side of the person that you loved. Sort of like if you can think of it like a flower, that has many different petals layered on top of petals on top of petals. This is the way I've come to think of it. And the TBI sort of, it rips some of the parts away, but then it reveals new parts that you might not have ever seen. But it is hard, it is challenging, and especially in the case of romantic relationships, a lot of times people, I think they feel like they can't connect anymore because they are living with what feels like a stranger.
It's not with us.
But no, it's not. We're very blessed because Patrick and I have always shared an extremely strong connection that I felt even in the hospital when he couldn't speak to me. And it's always felt that way. It's always kind of still felt like us when we're together, regardless of all the changes. And there have been many. And I always tell people I'm not the same person I was before brain injury. I'm really not. I really do think of that person that I was before as very different. There's all kinds of new sides of my own flower, if you will, that have revealed themselves. And I think of this very much as our recovery, that we're changing together. It is noteworthy to say that, you can run away to Florida, but you can't run away from TBI. I had to spend hours on the phone today dealing with caseworkers and government agencies and all sorts of nonsense.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it was not fun. We did get to spend time together today in the afternoon by the pool, connecting. Yeah. We're certainly not your average normal couple, and lots of times we'll see people kind of, I think, staring at us. One of the things we always talk about is people who see us together always feel the need to ask what our relationship status is. You want to kind of be like, is that something that you just ask people? Really? Yeah. Oh, is that your brother?
Yeah,
you'll be like, no, it's not my brother.
Yeah, you ask people bizarre questions.
Is she your nurse? No.
Yeah.
Is that your mother? And then I was like, and she was like,
that's weird.
So I look old enough. We graduated high school the same year.
Same age.
Yeah. And my favorite one was that your special person? Well, he is my special person, but somehow I don't think that you mean what we mean. And then there was the one who said, or is that your son? And I said, it's my boyfriend. And she said, oh, he looks too young to be your boyfriend. So I look old. We look like we're family. He's as Irish as the Irish can be, and I'm, my family's from Naples. Do we look like family? I think we've learned on this trip, we've reconnected sort of, I get so stressed out from the whole caregiving role, and I realized even today when I was circling around all those problems again, I started freaking out, that it really does affect him, and we as caregivers have to be very aware of the fact that our relationship with our survivors, we feed off that energy that we exchange, especially in romantic relationships. If he's freaking out, I start freaking out, and if I'm in a place where I'm stressed out, then that's not going to help him recover.
Yeah. I'm not complaining.
Okay, that's all for now. Don't ask people in wheelchairs what their relationship is to whoever it is they're having dinner with at restaurants. It's really rude.
Yeah, you should ask
Don't do that.
What are you in a wheelchair for?
Don't ask that either.
Yeah, no questions.
No.
No questions.
See you tomorrow.